today I'm ready for today's topic, and you can even see I carried a big Bible. This is my husband's Bible, it's not my Bible, so I just had to carry this one because we have to get straight to the matter, straight to the point. Okay, that aside, don't mind me. Okay, somebody is having temperature, having fever, and overnight, that night you don't even have paracetamol in the house, and you're waiting for daybreak to go and buy paracetamol for the child. Meanwhile, you have some things in the house. You can even be having time in your kitchen. The time we only use our time just to cook stew. You don't know how powerful that time is. That time, very powerful. People don't come up to like boldly say, I am a herbalist. Because of the misconception in this part of our country, people, they always feel herbalist belongs to native doctor. If you call a herbalist, you must be talking about a native doctor, child of God. And she told me her history, how she has this passion and feeling. She knows some of all these herbs and how their medicinal benefits and how she wants to go in. But her father has been a kind of hindrance, like hindering her from going into it, and the rest of them that, you can't do this. If you're a child of God, you can't go into this. They are fetish, they are this, they are that, they are that. That's one reason why I'm creating this video today. Today, I'm looking different. Yeah, today I decided to dress in a native attire. For this, because this is a special topic I'm going to be treating today, and I decided to make it maybe a different, off the official, off the walk kind of attire. So first of all, my name is Mrs. Uboma Salome. If you're meeting me for the first time, that's my name, and I just abbreviate the Salome to Sally for easy pronunciation. So Nature Secrets with Sally. That's what this channel is meant for, and I reveal nature secrets. Yeah. So today I'm talking about an interesting topic. Normally I do everything natural, and these nature secrets are both from what you eat to what you put on your skin and what you put on your hair, things you can do with nature all around you. There's so many things you can do walking in line with nature. That's what I focus on in this channel. So if you're that type that is concerned about your health or love nature, want to play around with nature and want to see what you can do, some DIYs and the rest, then stay glued to this channel because you'll be seeing a lot of things coming up on this channel. Yeah, so let's talk. So can a Christian go into herbalism? Is it possible? Okay, so why are we looking at herbalism? First of all, what is herbalism? What is herbalism? Now, when we talk about herbalism has to do with the study or practice of plants, medicinal plants. When you study medicinal plants, you study therapeutic plants around us. Now, from the beginning, God is the creator of these plants. He has made the plants what they are today. And the Bible said when he created these plants, he said, he looked at everything and he said, behold, they were good. They were good and fine. So today, I'm going to take you back to the Bible to buttress our points. It's not a Bible school, it's not a Bible class, but I'm going to go straight. I just want to show us one or two, so I won't take time to read several verses. Some of them I can give you scriptures to use, to quote, which can help you. Okay, so first of all, we go back to the beginning, back to basic. You see, today I'm ready for today's topic, and you can even see I carried a big Bible. This is my husband's Bible, it's not my Bible, so I just had to carry this one because we have to get straight to the matter, straight to the point. Okay, that aside, don't mind me. Okay, so, and I also have my notes, which I took time to write down some things so that I don't miss out important points. Okay, so this is, well, going back to the Bible, back to the beginning, Genesis chapter 1, from verse 29. And what did the Bible say? And God said, behold, I have given you every herb. Did you hear that? Every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruits of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, to you it shall be for meat. Okay, so God has given us everything as meat, as food. Now, if they are for meats or food, what make them to be medicinal? Why do we need to study these medicines? Okay, now look at Revelation chapter 22. Revelation chapter 22. I'll try to be, so that I won't make this video to be too long. Revelation chapter 22. Today we're coming to the Bible. We're studying the Bible. And I'll tell you the reason why I decided to take this topic. Okay, Revelation chapter 22 from verse 1 to 2. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. Now in verse 2, in the midst of the streets of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manners of fruits, and yielding her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation. Did you hear that? And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation. Okay, so you get that right? You know, why I actually brought up this topic is because of the controversy, especially in our own country, in a country like this. We have a lot of controversy built around herbalism and herbal studies. Or when you say, I'm a herbalist, some people don't come up to like boldly say, I am a herbalist, because of the misconception in this part of our country. People, they always feel herbalist belongs to native doctor. If you call a herbalist, you must be talking about a native doctor. Yeah, you might be talking about, yeah, that's the reason why one of my mommies, in my WhatsApp group, I have a WhatsApp platform where I share a lot of things. And on the platform, when I finish putting the group rules and the rest, I would now put underneath Salome Uboma, Mrs. Uboma Salome, herbalist, natural expert, skincare expert, whatever I want to put under. And she came to my DM. She was like, hey, remove that name herbalist under your title. I smiled when I saw it. Yes, I know the point where she was coming from. She was coming from the view that people will start seeing me as, this woman, maybe she's into a fetish practice. Maybe she's into this or that. Now, that's not the only case. I have a student which currently she's like under me for a kind of apprenticeship in my office. And she was like, what actually made me to come into this was because I saw that it is you and you are a Christian. So if a Christian is doing this, if a Christian is using herbs to heal people, then I think it's worth it also. Another lady came to my shop the other day to buy some things. And when we get talking, we talked for a while. And at a point she was like, ooh, so I can see a Christian who is actually practicing these things, using herbs to heal and the rest of them. And this is a Christian, a child of God. And she told me her history, how she has this passion and feeling. She knows some of all these herbs and how they are medicinal benefits and how she wants to go in. But her father has been a kind of hindrance, like hindering her from going into it and the rest of them, that, you can't do this. If you're a child of God, you can't go into this. They are fetish. They are this, they are that, they are that. That's one reason why I'm creating this video today. Now, not every herbalist, that's why you need to understand what herbalism is, first of all. And then a herbalist. Who is a herbalist? A herbalist is someone who uses plants to heal. Now, plants are not just in the form, just only tree herbs. Now, they can be in form of, we use the general part of the plants, but all the plant, most times in every part of the plant is medicinal and highly medicinal. Even the fruits you eat, sometimes we throw away some parts, like the peels, the seeds, and the rest of them. These are some things I'm going to be treating on this channel because some of them are useful and they are medicinal for us. God has given us everything, every plant, everything for our healing and for our food. Okay, so why, where was I? So these are the reasons why I want to trash this, because of the thinking of a lot of persons. They just feel that herbalism should just be for is native doctor, is spiritualism. Now, you can go into herbalism as a child of God. You don't need to be fetish. You don't need to go into being a fetish person, going to consult the gods to know what kind of herbs are there. Thankfully, today, there are schools, there are education, there are certifications you can get in studying herbs. And when I talk of herbs, I don't mean you just being a kind of just shabby herbalism or whatever. So just pick one because you hear that this one is curing. You pick this herb and it cures everything and use it to treat everything, and you don't consider the other ailments, other things this a particular person might have. So I'm talking of professional herbalism. You can actually study herbalism as a course. You can learn it. You can go to a school. There are schools today. There are schools in Nigeria. There are schools abroad. There are online schools that can teach you natural medicine. Many persons don't know, and that's why I'm trying to open your eyes today. They can teach you natural medicine, how to use these medicines around you. Some of them are in your kitchen, your spices, your seeds, your fruits. You can use them to heal them. I play with a lot of them, and I'm a living testimony. Most times I used to say my kids don't really know what's drugs, because I hardly bring them in on one or few situations, or so I can bring them. But as much as possible, I try to use foods, I try to use spices, I try to use fruits juices to like heal them up. So when they come, oh mommy, I have a fever, mommy, if they're down with fever or whatever, so I can use, okay, oh, pineapple juice today we're juicing the pineapple, because the pineapple is medicinal and it brings down fever, and I use it, I play with it to bring down fever in the children. And as much as possible, I try to cut down the synthetic chemicals. Yes, even the medicine. Yeah, the pharmaceuticals, they use these herbs, they use these plants, they use these trees. Through their studies, they use them, they extract the healing components from the plants, and they use them to prepare medicines for us, which they mix with other things. Now, some of them are natural, some of them are synthetic. And this synthetic one, over time, they tend to affect your health. It's either they are causing maybe additional health problems for you, or they are leading to one thing or the other. You start treating, you start doing this or whatever. So, and sometimes they treat the symptoms. I'm not saying, get me right, I'm not saying that pharmaceutical drugs are totally, completely bad. No. These are the things you learn if you go into full study of herbs and herbalism or natural medicine. We tend to work hand in hand. There are situations where you can administer them. It depends on the particular kinds of pharmaceutical drugs. Now, we complement each other. I'm not totally writing them off now, but as much as possible, you try to cut down on the synthetic materials, on the synthetic. Do you understand? Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So you use your food as medicine, and that's what I do. And I am glad, and I can boast, so I can beat my chest to say I am a herbalist. That's what some people don't want to hear me say. Yes, I study herbs. I use foods to treat people. And I happen to work I happen to consult with a wellness company, and I consult for them as a dietitian. And sometimes I recommend, when I go there, I look at your file and I look at what's your problem, what's your illness, what do you want to achieve by coming to this wellness center. And if you have one issue or the other, I tend to recommend foods. I tend to recommend some juices to use them to heal you. Now, you don't need to go to a native doctor. You don't need to go to that aspect or so. Through studying and learning of these herbs, you get to know them better and you can practice them. So a Christian can practice herbalism. A Christian can study herbs. You don't need to be fetish about it. Yes, we know a lot of persons go into spiritism, go into practicing fetish things because they are doing herbs. No. As a child of God, you can take your stand. And God, yes, we practice medicine, we learn medicine, and we use them to heal. But God is the greater healer. So God uses it. In fact, sometimes I get my inspirations from God, and I just say, God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do in this situation? Guide me, direct me. Which herbs, which one works better? Which spice can go for this or so? And you see God giving me inspiration, giving me learning. And I use my own gifts of herbalism to help people. And God helping me, I've helped a lot of persons, and I've been helping till today. So you, as a child of God, or as a parent, your child wants to go into studying herbs, using herbs to treat, don't stop the person. You can be a natural doctor. You can be a naturopath. You can go into one of the natural medicines. There are schools, there are professional. Today, now we have professional certificates. You can even study it up to PhD level. Yes, you can study it up to PhD level, and you come out and practice as a herbalist and as a natural medicine practitioner, expert, which you recommend natural foods and then use it to heal people and to treat people. Now, where it's possible. So, as a child of God, I'm going to give, okay, I've given you the Revelation. Revelation said, it said the leaves are for the healing of the nation. Yeah. So the Bible, even there are some herbs in the Bible. It's not today they start using herbs. Even in the Bible, in the days of the Bible, when Nicodemus came to Jesus, he came with aloe, which is one of the species is our aloe vera, aloe and myrrh. And then we see in the Bible the frankincense, the myrrh. These are all essential oils. They are essential oils of today. They were being used, they were being practiced. So why can't we use them as Christians? And those times you see the anise in the Bible. In Matthew chapter 23, verse 23, you see that the seeds and leaves, the stems of the anise seed was being used in treatment. They use it gone at those days, and today we have this anise, we have the star anise. These are being used, and they are used for to cool down temperature those days in the Bible days. And in our own time, like I use it in my immune booster. Is one of my ingredients in my immune booster, which works for cold. And even the pharmaceutical companies, they get this anise, they extract the shikimic acid from it, because anise has what we call shikimic acid in it. So they extract the shikimic acid, which helps to fight flu and cold. They extract it from it and use it to produce flu drugs. So if you as a child of God decide to eat the anise, why not eat the anise instead of remove out every other thing, and they remove only the shikimic acid and turn it to drugs for you? You can eat it. And that's why I keep preaching, eat your food, eat real food, not junks, and especially plant-based food. God has deposited everything we need inside these plants, inside these seeds, inside these fruits. So when you eat them, you get well. You not only get the shikimic acid inside star anise as you add it to your spice, as you add that spice inside your food, or as you add it into your drinks or juices. You won't only get the shikimic acid, but you get every other benefit of that plant. That is the beauty of plants. If the pharmaceutical companies can extract this, we can eat them, and you can use them to heal yourself. You can use them to treat every other person. You don't need to go into spiritism. You don't need to go into spiritism. A young man came to my office the other day, and he was like, okay, he saw what I'm doing, what I'm into, and he said, oh, I want to learn from you. And in my conversation with this guy, I saw that this guy is into herbs already. He knows how to use herbs to treat, but he doesn't know their names. And I keep, when he mentioned this herb, when he will bring this one, and I mentioned the name, the guy will be surprised. He will say, you know this name, he doesn't know their English name, but he knows how to use them, and he knows this look. And I said, oh, good. Now I'm going to teach you some things, and I'm also going to learn some things from you. You see me, I like studying herbs. I like herbs. So I told him, I'm going to learn some things from you too. You take me to some of all these bushes, all these places where you get. I want to get some of them. I know their names and I know them, but some of them I bring them from outside. Some of them I get them from Lagos. Some of them I get them from. We bring them from. And most of them they import them. But if I can get them around me here in Port Harcourt, of course, why not? Why wouldn't I? So you take me to those places and let me go and get them. And I've been on him. It took him days and months. He wasn't really time. So one of the days when he came back again to my shop, and I said, come, I need this thing. Come and carry me out. Go and show me places you get most of these your herbs. Them, most of them are the herbs I already know. Then he had to reveal some things to me. He said, Ma, please let me. I don't want to tell you let me tell you the simple truth. The reason why I wouldn't want to carry you there, I wouldn't want to go and show you these things, because I've actually come off it. I don't want to go back into it. And he revealed to me that most of these herbs he knows, that in fact he had some initiation. They took him somewhere into the bush, into a farm, so they initiated him. And then so if you just go into the herbs, you just use it. Go into the bush, just use your hand. Maybe you want to treat somebody that has epilepsy or have one illnesses, you just go to the bush and do their hand like this. The juju or the spirits will tell them which of the herb. They just touch that one. They just touch the particular, or maybe it might even push them and carry them to the particular herb. So they just touch that, and when they touch that, it gives them what they want, and they carry it to the person, and they get their what do they call it? The treatments. And that's why he knows them. He knows what to use for different things, but he doesn't even know their name. He doesn't know their English name. And I was like, wow. So they do this. These are the reasons why people run away from her. But let me tell you the good thing and the good aspect is, today there are schools you can go to study herbalism. As a child of God, you don't need to be initiated. You don't need to go to the spirit realm to be able to identify herbs. You can study, and that is what I do. I study, I learn, I pay for courses, I go through things which I keep studying, I keep learning, I keep researching. That's what is helping me. And I can tell you a lot of things. Most of the things I know and I pour out are from study. Yeah, there are things I learned them by knowledge. And some of them, the Holy Spirit helps me too. So when you walk hand in hand with God, God helps you. And in fact, He can direct you to a particular, as you're searching online, He just takes you to a particular page. This is what, you say, oh, wow. So this particular plant works, and you just give it a trial and it works for you. So as a child of God, you can practice healing with herbs. You can eat your food as medicine, as what I do with a lot of persons. I tend to focus more on the food area. Use your food. Your food, He eat the herbs, eat the leaves, eat the seeds, eat the fruits. They are highly medicinal. And as you do that, you see God uses them to heal you. You become more healthy, you become stronger. And together we will help the nation. Together we will help to build a healthy home, healthy family. Your children will hardly fall sick, and even if they do, you just need some drinks, the normal food. We don't know this because the Bible says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. When you don't know things, they kill you. Somebody is having temperature, having fever, and overnight, that night, you don't even have paracetamol in the house, and you're waiting for daybreak to go and buy paracetamol for the child. Meanwhile, you have some things in the house. You might be having your turmeric, which is one powerful herbs. We can be talking about the one turmeric in your kitchen. You can even be having thyme in your kitchen. The thyme we only use our thyme just to cook stew. You don't know how powerful that thyme is. That thyme, very powerful. Your children are having respiratory issues. You could boil that thyme and give them to drink as a tea, and they get their healing. Yeah, they get their healing. The rosemary spice we use. I don't want to even go far to start going into the herbs in the bush or the weeds that you don't know. Even the ones in your kitchen, the turmeric we use. Turmeric is the major ingredients they add to curry. They add to curry. As you call curry, you go to the market, you buy curry, and then they add a lot of things inside the curry. Turmeric is the main thing that gives you the color. You want the color in your rice. Why don't you just use your turmeric? Yeah, you can add other natural spices along it to it. So that's what makes me to go into even spice production. I produce spice with natural things too, which I sell too. So you have the turmeric. That turmeric is one powerful herb. I'm going to talk about it. Go check my video. You see how I use turmeric in healing my daughter's wound and how it helped her. The powerful remedy, the deep cut she had, in 2 weeks' time, it was all covered up. And ease her pain, ease a lot of things. So you need to know these medicines God has placed around us. So don't stay there and be saying, I'm a Christian. I can't do herbalism. I can't go into it. If you have a passion and a dream for it, go for it. So as a child of God, my general advice is for you is, if you want to go into herbalism, mommy, daddy, don't stop that your child from going into studying herbalism. If she wants to, if she has this passion of using herbs, you can train her the more. Instead of allowing her to waste her education going to do what she doesn't have passion in, she can go into the educational line to learn natural medicine. And yes, there are schools who will even give you BSc certificates in natural medicine or naturopathy. You can even get up to PhD level. So encourage them to go to school and study, to know, so that way you get to study, to know the body, the parts of the body. You get to know how the system works, just as the doctors go to school to learn all these things. So they tend to teach you professional wise. When you take it into professional level, you get to study the anatomy of the human body, everything. So you know which herbs work with this. You'll be able to assess a patient. You'll be able to diagnose what is wrong with a particular patient, and then you say, okay, this is what is wrong with it. Then you also consider other ailments, other issues. Okay, this person said I'm having arthritis, and you want to give this particular herbs. You want to give it, but you consider, oh no, does she have a BP? Does she have the other one that might interact with the herbs, kidney issues or whatever? Okay, so these are things you look into. This is why you need to go for proper studies and trainings. Whether it's the herbalism, whether it's as a dietitian, whether it's you want to go through natural medicine, natural path, what have you. If you want to go into it as a Christian, you can go into it, but get your training. Now, your training, you don't necessarily need to as in, it must not necessarily be, maybe if you don't have money to go through the universities, the higher college, the higher schools, or the abroad foreign schools who are into natural medicines as professions, that maybe to get your degrees or certificates, you don't need to break the bank just because of that. For a start, you can go and learn under a practitioner. There are different practitioners outside. I could give you links to some practitioners if you want, maybe in some states that I know a lot of them. You could learn under some practitioners and you get your training, and then you do better rather than not getting training at all. You go to the internet, go to YouTube, grab this from YouTube, and you start administering it into people, and you start getting some kind of negative reactions and some side effects and some issues. So you need to go through proper training. That's why even myself, I am still learning, yeah, because we learn you cannot stop learning. You can't stop learning. Even with the knowledge I know, I still learn. That's why sometimes I don't like taking classes on herbal studies. Yeah, I prefer to do skincares and the rest of them also. So a Christian can practice herbalism. A Christian can study herbs. You don't need to be fetish about it. So go ahead and practice, and do have a nice day till my next video. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do well to click on the subscription button, and then the notification button, so that you get notified when I bring my next video. And then stay tuned, because I will bring in wonderful videos. Now, I don't only do internal, you're going to also be seeing some skincare products with all this natural thing. We're going to be using nature, because it takes 26 seconds what you put on your skin to get into your bloodstream. So if you're the health conscious person, then your skincare routine is very important. So we'll be doing skin cares, we'll be doing hair cares, and then internally what to eat for healthy living. So click on the subscription button. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Thank you.